Hey everybody, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. So today I have another Rakdos control gameplay for you guys, and today we're gonna go against Affinity. But before we begin, I'd just like to show you guys my deck list. So this is a deck list that I'm using at the moment. I'm always changing it up, but at the moment this is what it's like. And if you guys want to just, why is this not showing up? That's strange. What card is this? Okay. Merchant of the Veil. Merchant of the Veil does not want to show his face. Merchant. Let's try Merchant. Let's see what happens here. My Magic Online takes a while to load. So, yeah. What's going on, Bubba? You don't want to show your face? There he is. Alright, sorry about that, guys. So anyways, sometimes that happens, but this is my deck list. If you guys want to pause the video, take a look at it, tell me what you think. There are the lands and everything. I do want a Mortuary Mire or, or one of those lands that get your dudes back from the graveyard. This is the sideboard. If you guys want to take a print screen, pause the video or something. I'm using two shenanigans that I just put in here. They weren't in here yesterday. I took out, I guess, relics and what else did I take out? Wrench mines and stuff. And I put 4 Manic Vandals, or 3 now, 3 Manic Vandals. 2 shenanigans against the artifact decks. There is probably like too much stuff here against artifacts. But I feel comfortable that way, you know? And with 4 fairies as well against graveyard decks. I might find a place for 1 relic here sooner or later. Again, depending on the meta. But decks do like to use the graveyard a lot. So anyways, let's continue to the gameplay. I'm gonna go ahead and click replay here for you guys. And this game was awesome, bro. Well, at least game 3. Game 1 and 2 are kind of fast. Game 1 and 2 are kind of fast, but game 3 is pretty cool. So in game 1, what actually happened in game 1? I didn't know I was going against Affinity or anything, so I didn't know what to expect, but let's see what happened. I drew 7 cards, and I kept the first 7 cards because I had both colored manas. I had a bounce land, and basically I have 3 lands. I can generate 3 lands, so that's good enough for me. So here I just played a mountain in order to bounce it back from a bounce land on my second turn. 2 anglers is and the thorn is kind of heavy for the it's kind of heavy for mana cost convertedly speaking, but I do have a lightning bolt and a terminate, which can give me some time to draw some other stuff, so that's why I kept this hand. And well, I'm gonna go ahead and pass the turn to my opponent. He plays his land and a Springleaf Drum, so I kind of knew I was going against Affinity at this point in time. I drew a Firebolt and bounced back my mountain, hoping I didn't have 8 in hand, and I didn't. I had 7. Haha, thank God. So anyways, that was cool. I wasn't sure I had 7. He plays a land and a Prophetic Prism to draw a card, and he also plays a Frogmite, which gets Firebolted, of course, because the less artifacts my opponent has in play, the better it is for me, for sure. I am sure of that, especially going against Affinity. So what he does now is he plays a 4/4 and draws two cards. I draw a land, I play a land and pass back. He plays another 4/4, another Forger, right? And now he is attacking me. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and just terminate one of those, try to at least, and I get dispelled right in the face. And well, that happens, and Affinity is one of those decks nowadays that are running more than one copies of Dispel most of the time, one or two, to protect all of the buffy creatures, beefy, buffy, I'm not even sure how to say that, creatures that he plays. And in response, I just cracked my Evolving Wilds and got a swamp. Um, Drew a land, played a land, and now I play Gurmag to try to, defend myself a little bit against all of these 4/4s. He draws some more cards and threatens to attack, but he doesn't. Passes the turn. I attack him since he didn't attack me. And I also attack him because, well, he could have attacked me and like galvanic my freaking Gurmag if he wanted to, but the information that I have and that I can trust in, at least that I can believe in for now, is that he does not have a galvanic blast to get rid of my Gurmag. So um, that's why I go ahead and attack him back, since I know probably won't block anyways. Uh, he doesn't want to lose one of his 4/4s. So he takes 5. I play Liliana Spectre, discarding another Dispel. So Liliana Spectre in this match was really cool. I got a lot of value from her because it discarded some really good stuff. And I've always had a question about using. I never really know what to use in the 3 slot space. Or I usually put Liliana Spectre, but I'm not really sure if I should use what's the name of the freaking card? That rat that puts the card on top, or Phyrexian Rager to draw a card. And well, basically I'm using Liliana Spectre in order to affect my opponent a little bit more, to disturb his strategies a little bit more with a discard. Um, and it's been working out for me. I've been enjoying using Liliana Spectre instead of um, the 3 mana rat that makes the opponent put the card on top of his library, or um, the Ravager, which you pay a life and you draw a card. So it's pretty cool. It's better against burn actually too. It makes them discard, put some pressure on flying. So what happens next is, well, my opponent plays a Tog and uses the Tog to generate a green mana and play another Forger. So now he has a whole freaking army in play, which is normal for Affinity. And now I make him discard a Serpent, which was pretty cool. Um, he just attacks with everything. Block. I block, but I end up not surviving because he has a Timber Battle Rage and a Galvanic Blast to close up the game. So yeah, unfortunately, this is how this one ended. But let's go ahead and go to game 2. So let's replay game 2 and see what happens here. Here in game 2, I keep a very weird hand. I keep a hand with no red, and with no red mana and two black manas, two black lands. Um, and the only reason I kept this hand is because of Knight's Whisper, so I can draw into a red mana source. I can hopefully draw into a red mana source if I need to by playing these two cards. And that's what happens anyways. So I kind of made the right choice here. The uh, the angler's pretty cool. The firebolt, the specter. So I kept the hand and just to see what happens. He plays land, plays chromatic star. I go ahead and draw two cards. I find my red mana source. He plays Springleaf Drum. I play. What do I play? I play Knight's Whisper again. Drew some cards. Played the tap land, gained a life, and I passed the turn. He untapped and played a Prophetic Prism. Drew a card. I played the Spectre, making him discard Chromatic Star. He goes ahead and plays. He plays the Clark Clan Shaman. And well, what he didn't pay attention to in this match is that my Spectres fly. So um, he ends up making a big mistake, sacrificing it to the to try to kill him, to try to kill the Spectres, but it doesn't work. So basically, I draw land, play another Spectre, and this game doesn't go on for much longer because, like I said, he makes a mistake. I target a Tog with Firebolt because I want him to start sacrificing artifacts. Nothing more. I know it doesn't kill it. I mean, it does, but usually it doesn't since he's gonna sacrifice something to give it +2/+2. So that's what he does, and so he saves his Atog. Here he plays Springleaf and a 4/4, and now I terminate his Atog, so there's no way for that to come back whatsoever. And I get a little aggressive by attacking with one of my Liliana's Specters. I do get in for 2 damage, I think. But then he sacrifices his card clan to try to get rid of I guess, my flying creatures. And what he didn't notice is that it says creatures without flying to each creature without flying, so they can't be flyers. And since the Enforcer took a damage, I went ahead and just bolted it to try to kill it. And when he saw that happen, I guess he just conceded and quit. So now let's go ahead and go to game 3. Game 3 is probably the main reason why I recorded this replay, because I thought it was really cool. Um, the match took a little bit longer, or the game took a little bit longer than the first and the second game. But anyways, let's see what happens here. I draw 7 cards. I keep the Spectre, the uh, Chan, Chandra's Pyrohelix. I'm using 4 of these because I'm sick and tired of little dudes and having to use terminates on 1/1s and stuff. So I just use this, and like slivers, they suffer so much with this in the beginning of the game because you can just it's always 2 for 1, right? You just kill them all. Um, I also have artifact hate. So here, well, from game 1 to game 2, I put in 2 Pyroblasts and 4 of these for the Manic Vandals. Um, in game 3, I guess I left it the same. I didn't change. I didn't side out anything. I didn't change the deck. Um, and now we see part of the sideboard here, Manic Vandal. So he comes in, he destroys something, and he's really useful because he can block, he can put a little bit of pressure on your opponent, and with all of these Chandra's Pyro Helix, you can actually um, have a lot of combat tricks available at your disposal when you block and like a big creature, and then you use the damage to get rid of that bigger creature. So you're basically doing two for ones, but at least you get the big dude out of the way. And that's basically the main strategy behind using Manic Vandals and these Pyro Helixes. There's also a very similar card. It does the same thing. It's called Twin Bolt. So if you guys do not have the Pyro Helix, you can also use the Twin Bolt. It does the same thing. They're both instants. There's a sorcery for 1 mana that does the same thing, but it's a sorcery, so you can't use it as a combat trick. Um, you would have to maybe only on your turn, I guess you attack. If he blocks, you can use it, but so it's kind of worse for not being an instant, and I prefer having instants, even though there are a whole bunch of dispels out there. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and keep this hand. He plays an indestructible Darksteel Citadel, which is pretty cool. Then he plays a Chromatic Star and passes the turn. I draw a land. I play my Evolving Wilds and pass my turn. He goes ahead and plays a land and puts down a Prophetic Prism, draws a card and plays a Frogmite. I fetch a Swamp, and then I draw Terminate. I play Mountain, and I go ahead and get rid of the Frogmite with the Pyro Helix, because like I said, the less less artifacts Affinity has in play, especially if they're creatures, then the better it is for you. So um, we're just, always trying to stabilize, which is really hard against Affinity because it has so many creatures. He plays a Forger, I play a Manic Vandal, getting rid of his Prism. Um, I've passed my turn, and I remember that he attacks. I do not block because it's not worth it right now. It's not worth blocking right now. So, um, what I like to do is block and keep Lightning Bolt up to, trade off my two guys with his big dude. So I do not block yet. He draws a card. He draws two more cards. I draw a Pyroblast, which is really cool. And I play a Liliana Spectre, getting rid of what does he discard for me now? A Enforcer, a Mirror Enforcer. So that's pretty good. See, like I said, Liliana Spectre getting rid of really cool things. Um, that otherwise could be put onto the battlefield. For example, a Mirror Enforcer is really strong. Affinity can play that creature for free most of the time. So it's a lot of pressure from Affinity here. He plays the Athog. Again, he attacks with the Forger. I double block in order to get rid of his big guy. And this is what Rakdos does. Control. You gotta try to control the board. You gotta get rid of the big stuff. Here I play a land and pass, I guess. I don't really remember why, but he attacks, and I try to bolt his Atog, just so I can get rid of more artifacts. And since he passed priority, he was not going to sacrifice any more artifacts, so I did not have to terminate. But if he does sacrifice all of his artifacts for the Atog, I can terminate it, making his life miserable with no lands, no artifacts, and a dead Atog. But that was not the case, so I did not have to terminate. He passes the turn, I draw Spectre, I play the Spectre, I guess, yeah, and I get rid of, this time, counter, Prohibit. So Prohibit, getting rid of the counter, so he attacks. I block the Atog, and he galvanics me for 4. And I also take 4 from the Forger, so that's 8 in total. It's a lot of damage coming in. But I'm just trying to survive here and not lose to this Affinity deck. Oh no, I do. Okay, so I did not remember that. I terminated his Forger, so okay, he got 4 in from the Galvanic, and then 3 in. Oh, and then he flinged. Okay, he flinged it. Yeah, guys, so I took 8 anyways. Yeah, damage came in. But, at least he's not using it on the Atog. He only has 3 artifacts anyways in their lands, so if he sacrifices those, he is losing a lot of resources. Um, and I'm at 6 life here with a Pyroblast in hand and Liliana's Spectre in play. And he has 0 cards in hand, so that is pretty cool for me. I'm just worried about the Atog though, because I'm only at 6 life. And I'm also worried about, I will be worried about Galvanic Blast soon. You'll see why. So he played a Springleaf Drum, not useful. He doesn't attack. I fetch a Swamp, and this is why I was talking about. Like, I drew Night's Whisper, and I can't use Night's Whisper. It's a dead card in my hand. Um, Based on the fact that he has 3 more Galvanic Blasts in his library. See, so he has a Galvanic Blast here. He only used 1. There's only 1 in his graveyard, so the chances of him drawing another Galvanic Blast and killing me if I'm at 4 life is kind of high. So I just hold on to this Night's Whisper until, I find the right moment to use it. And so basically now I don't remember if I attack or not. I didn't, and I passed the turn. He plays an Enforcer again, and I draw a Gurmag Angler. I immediately cast that, just, to defend myself a little better against the Enforcer. And I don't get aggro or anything. I don't attack. I pass my turn. I still don't use my Night's Whisper, okay? Because I do not want to be at 4 life, knowing that he has 3 more Galvanic Blasts in his deck. Some Affinity decks even use 2 flings in a Timber Battle Rage. So fling, basically he sacrifices the creature and deals 4 damage. He deals 4 damage to any target, and so he can target my face easily with that. And Timber Battle Rage basically gives Atog Double Strike and Trample, which was the card he used in the first game to win against me. And so I fetch a mountain. That's all I do. Pass the turn to him. He's not going to attack because I have the Angler. I draw a Chainer's Edict, and he tries to counter it, but I have a Pyroblast. So I go ahead and Pyroblast that to get rid of a guy, one of his dudes, and he sacrifices the Enforcer. I attack. I get a little aggro now since I have an Angler in play. Since I have 2 creatures and he has 1. So I don't attack with the Angler because I'm and leave the Spectre up, because he can always just remove the Spectre and win with a Tog. So a Tog. I'm not sure how to say that, but anyways, I leave Angler up to be able to block and not die. He plays a Prism. He plays Prism, then he plays Star, then he draws cards, then he plays Frogmite, then he goes ahead and plays a Relic. Alright, cool. He plays a Relic, gets rid of something in my graveyard. I draw another Angler, and I immediately flashback my Edict effect and I make him sacrifice another guy. He sacrifices Frogmite. I keep putting on a little bit of pressure with the Spectre. Okay, he gets rid of something from my graveyard. I draw land, a very important land, guys, because this land gave me a life, which enabled me to play Night's Whisper and draw two more cards. This way, getting away, being safe from what's the name of the card? From Galvanic Blast's range, Galvanic's Blast burn range. So if he does get one, he'll only burn me for 4, and I will survive. So I drew 2 cards. Went ahead and played the Angler as well. Got a Terminate in hand. Unfortunately, I don't have 2 mana up, and now, yeah, for Terminate. But now I attack with 2 creatures. Since I have another Angler in play, I can attack with the first Angler and put even more pressure on. Unfortunately, he kills my Angler. He draws a card off of the relic, kills my Angler with the Atog. But I still have one more, so that's pretty cool. And I made him sacrifice some artifacts. So keep them artifacts low, guys. He attacks with the Tog, and I block, of course, because I don't want to die. So he gets rid of my second Angler with the Atog. Very powerful card, Atog, with the artifacts in play. I forgot to say that he did put another 4/4 in play, but I do have a Terminate in hand, so no worries. I go ahead and terminate his Atog and keep my Spectre up in order to block and maybe deal 2 damage to his Forger and just get rid of everything. So what I do is, since I draw Manic Vandal, I play him, I get rid of his Prism, and still on the defensive, guys. I've passed the turn, and hopefully I'm able to double block here, which I think is what happens. Yeah, he attacks. Oh no, I don't double block. I block. And then I burn his Forger, leaving me with a creature and leaving him with none. And 0 cards in hand. So that was pretty cool. Now I still can apply pressure with my Liliana Spectre. So that's awesome. I only have 2 cards in hand, which are lands, but he didn't know that, so I draw a Bolt, I keep attacking, I keep on putting pressure on. He keeps on drawing lands, he gets some dead draws. I get another dude, so I play him and destroy another artifact. He had played a creature as well, I think a Frogmite or something. Let me see. Or not. No, he's going to play it still. So I attack here, leaving him at 8. Now he plays the Frogmite. I draw Raven's Crime, which it's no use now, since he has 0 cards in hand. I decide to bolt the Frogmite and attack for 4, leaving him only at 4. Okay. Leaving him at 4. So now, what happens is I attack, and then he gets a dead draw, and I win the match because of that, right? So basically, that's what I wanted to show you guys. Just you gotta be very patient. You gotta know when to attack, when to not to attack, when to block. And Affinity is a really good deck, and I was very lucky to be able to take him down. But he is a very good player. He countered some things, and Liliana Spectre was really cool, getting rid of his cards. And I hope you guys liked the match. Hope you guys liked the gameplay. Stay tuned for another video. I really don't know when I'll be uploading it. I do this for fun, guys. So I like to share my ideas and my gameplays and my thoughts, and I like to improve as a player as well. So go ahead and leave your comments below. Tell me what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay? Thank you. Goodbye.